What's happening, Sean? This is Chris Vendilli at ProFromGo. Thanks for asking me to do your interview. Just wanted to start off by saying hopefully your videography students understand I am not a videographer, so trying to do this in one cut with no edits and get you something that sort of works. So I got your list of questions here. I thought I'd give you a quick tour of our new office since last time we met. I was still in a space about a mile away on South Side, and we've upgraded a little bit. So let me see if I can get the selfie video to do me justice here. You can kind of see where we're located. We're right on Carson now, down in the terminal building. And I don't think I can actually flip this view around, so you're gonna have to look over my shoulder. So this is our new space, kind of cool. Our pictures are falling off the wall because somebody didn't use the right tape, but you can see some of our work here. We do a lot of web design and development, digital marketing and advertising. These two featured clients lost their space on the Wall of Fame, but we're gonna get that fixed here soon. Here's a few of our other projects. You can kind of see them. This one actually is up for an interactive marketing award right now, so if you guys watch this in time, I think the voting ends May 15th, I want to say. So that's through the Pittsburgh Tech Council. Maybe I'll shoot you a link. You guys can give me a vote if you think I seem like a cool dude and you think the project's cool. This is our messy conference room. We just finished a meeting. We're working on some new marketing materials. Cool stuff. While I'm giving you the tour here, I guess I'll start answering some questions. I started the business well, actually, I kind of started as a freelancer. This is our guest office. Construction in progress. That's actually a brand new desk there in the box. Messy. You get to see behind the curtain. Justin's working from home today. We do that quite a bit. And this is my office. It's very messy right now. And then my fat butt broke that chair, so I'm waiting for the Levin furniture guy to come fix that. But when my desk is messy, it's because I'm really busy. So anyways, I started the business kind of as a freelance thing. While I was in college, I had a couple membership sites I had done where I took a class project about, you guys are gonna laugh and I'm gonna date myself a little bit, but I did a class project about how to market on MySpace, and my teacher liked it, and I turned it into an information site about how to market your business on MySpace. When I launched that site, it was a members forum, a login area with some video screen captures on how to set up your MySpace account for business. How to send out MySpace bulletins. So it was a little bit ahead of its time, I think, but we still managed to sell, I think, something crazy like 30,000 memberships in a matter of like 7 or 8 months. This is while I was still going to Pitt full time for information science. So it kind of snowballed and blew up. I thought I was going to be an internet millionaire, but didn't quite get that far. And I took a job actually as a police officer with the city of Pittsburgh. I followed in my dad's footsteps. I did that for about 8 years. The last 3 years I was there, I was a detective in the computer forensic unit, and I was starting to get a little bit bored again. Don't get me wrong, being a cybercrime detective was fun, but I was still having a good time doing my side projects, and I started to get kind of bigger and badder side projects where I was doing most of the work myself. Probably in about 2011 or 2012, I reincorporated it, got a physical space, and hired someone to help me. And I was doing the business during the day, and I was working out of police headquarters at night. And probably another year or two in, I signed a $100,000 a year account, which was obviously more than you make as a city cop. And that was pretty exciting. It was also kind of scary because I knew there's a good chance I might screw this up. And it actually went really, really well. We got great results for the client, allowed me to kind of start to grow the business a little bit. And at that point, I had other clients too, but this was a big one. So it kind of got us to that next level. In probably 2012, 13, I got my first physical space. 2014, I moved into this building, which I'll continue the tour while I talk. This is that messy conference room. We have a pretty cool smart board we use. You might see those at school. They're great for demos. Little lunch area here. The kitchen. I'm not going to go in the kitchen. It's really messy. And the guys are sort of back there working, pretending like they're working. I won't bug them. We have a pretty liberal work from home policy, so our intern and 2 other people decided to work from home today, which is the nice thing about our business. it's a kind of a gift and a curse in some ways. It sort of follows you everywhere, but at the same time you can, work from home. So 2012, 13, I got a physical space. The business really continued to grow kind of naturally. Let's see if I can get my jerry-rigged tripod to work here without breaking my phone. Let's see. Yeah, that kind of works. Yeah, we moved into this building maybe 2 years ago. We moved into this space. This wasn't the first space we were in. A little more recently, maybe like 6 months ago. We painted it and fixed it up a little bit, bought some new furniture. So those were some of the challenges, which kind of takes me to the next question is, to keep business growth happening, you obviously need capital. And sometimes you don't have the capital from the accounts that you have currently to help you get to the next level. So it's kind of like a leapfrog type of thing where you need more money before you can make more money. And that's kind of challenging. You do have to think about it a little bit differently as you start to grow. I wouldn't encourage anyone to start out going in debt too deeply, but I definitely bootstrapped this for the first few years. But as you kind of start to see you've got some systems in place and things are working well, when you throw a little capital at it, that's when you can start to make it go faster. So that was one of my challenges. I thought that I'd be able to bootstrap this the whole way without taking on some debt. And now I sort of have changed my mindset thanks to a lot of coaching and different entrepreneurship classes I've taken. Just knowing that taking on debt and financing business growth is not a bad thing as long as you have a really good plan. Something that I found to be successful in growing ProFromGo and specific marketing techniques. That's the next question here. That's a good one. I think two things. One is you really have to be customer focused. I don't want to say it's our mantra, but we've kind of realized sometimes customers don't know how to ask what they want. I won't say the customer's always wrong, but in this business, the customer isn't always right. And getting in that trusted advisor position is, that can be actually a challenge as well, but I think it's also kind of a secret to growing the business, to kind of give the customer the advice that they need to hear, make sure they know you're giving them that advice for their own good, and then be focused on their success, kind of be a partner in their business, and really care about what they care about is I think kind of why we've grown. Unlike some other agencies that are just selling websites or video or whatever the case may be, we like to go really deep with our customers and see, what are your goals? Why do you want a website? It's not because you want a prettier web presence. It's not because you want more traffic. It's because you want more business. So what does more business mean to you? What types of customers are you looking for? So getting beneath the hood, I think, has helped us be successful with customers, and in turn has helped us grow the business. In addition to that, we practice what we preach. We're an inbound marketing agency at heart, so we do create a good amount of content. We do a little bit of digital advertising for ourselves, and I will go as far to say that a lot of our own marketing and advertising is the shoemaker's son, because we're constantly very busy with client work. But at the same time, you can never forget about your pipeline. You always have to be marketing, advertising. Networking has been a great key to our success as well. So, even though we hide behind keyboards for work, when it comes time to find more work to hide behind the keyboard for, sometimes the keyboard is your worst enemy. You got to get out there and kind of collide with people a little bit, rub some elbows. And I think some of the best business networking events are the ones where you serve a few drinks and you get to get around people who will let their guard down, make some new friends, and see if there's someone you can help. As far as having a mentor or someone to help me in starting the business, so I'll read the question as it's written. Do you have any type of mentor or someone to help guide you in starting your business? So that's kind of like a two-pronged question. I guess as far as starting the business, I was kind of a hustler, to be honest. I freelanced a good bit. I got my own site up, and I would caution you on thinking that having a website is the same as having a business. They're actually two very different things. But I started working with a few friends of friends and family members and doing some projects, and it kind of organically grew. And then I started to kind of learn what people really wanted and how to have a better sales conversation to get more projects. But in terms of a mentor, at least initially, it was something I didn't think I needed. And I got it to a point where maybe we were around 150 to 200,000 in revenue with one employee before I started to realize I did need help. I didn't have all the answers, and there's a lot of other people who've gone before me and built great businesses and are willing to share. And at that point, I kind of started to reach around, the area. I reached out to other agency owners to see not only could we maybe collaborate or joint venture on projects if something was more in my wheelhouse or theirs or vice versa, but do you have any tips for a new guy trying to get started? And a few people were immensely helpful to me. Paul Fariga over at WordWrite PR, it's a PR firm downtown, as well as Jeremy Church, who's his right-hand man. They were helpful, and they introduced me to something called Vistage. It's an executive networking and kind of peer review type group, which has probably been one of the best things that I've done. Right up there in my top 3 is the Duquesne Small Business Development Center. I got some help and counsel from them, in addition to running some workshops there on digital marketing, which gave us some exposure. The Pitt Institute for Entrepreneurial Excellence is fantastic. They have a fellows program that I did. And I also received a kind of a business scholarship to a Goldman Sachs sanctioned training up in Boston at Babson College about a year and a half ago, which was also fantastic. It was a pretty intensive workshop for over the course of a year to help us build out a growth strategy and to get some true experts kind of looking over our shoulders at our business. So in short, I've done a ton of mentoring and coaching. It took me a while to realize I needed that help, but now that I've kind of seen what that can do for you to have an outsider's perspective on your business, it's something I swear by. I've done Sandler sales training. Almost every year I'm looking for some place for not just me but also my team to go get really quality training and mentorship. The last thing here, any advice you would offer a young creative person that was thinking about starting their own freelance business? I talk to a lot of freelancers. I sub out some work to freelancers here and there. And I think the number one thing I could say to freelancers would be to don't forget that you need to sell yourself. Before you can do freelance work, you have to sell your freelance work. And I think that's an area where some of the most creative people have almost like a fear or a stigma that they don't want to be seen as a salesperson. But if you're a photographer or a videographer or a web designer, and you polish your sales skills a little bit, it's even easier for you to sell yourself because you're not a front man for some other organization or some other person. You can answer the questions. But sometimes freelancers are quick to give their advice or opinion or tips or to outline a plan for someone before they've really sold the person or seen what that person actually wants to buy. So one of the easiest quick sales tips I could give is if you have an idea for someone, turn it into a question. Leave them sort of a mental breadcrumb trail to what you're selling, and focus on learning how to close some new business. Because as you're first starting out and you don't have a lot of resources or team members or people who specialize in sales or helping with those other areas of the business, you have to be the one and only and the best salesperson. So maybe even go get some sales training. That will help you immensely, I think, with getting a little bit more comfortable, talking about money, talking about services. In addition to just kind of first getting started with a freelance business, especially in this digital age, make sure you're comfortable getting out there. You got to promote yourself. You are the brand as a freelancer. So join different networking groups. There's a few around town that are great. Pittsburgh Social Exchange is pretty good. BNI, Chambers of Commerce. Really get out there. In the early days of your business, you want to spend as little time as possible in the seat doing the work. And that brings me to my last point. And this is maybe should precede you getting out there in the trenches. Make sure you really have a plan. Just getting out there and being real tactical and selling services before you have like sort of a strategy and a business model can be a mistake as well. Where you can be successful that way, but you're gonna make a lot of mistakes and you're gonna learn by kind of failing forward, if that makes sense. Which again isn't a bad thing, but if you spend kind of 80% of your time planning up front and deciding, what am I going to sell, who am I going to sell to, how am I going to help them, what are the challenges we help them overcome, it helps you have more intelligent sales conversations, but it also, kind of gives you that strategic direction you need to get out there and get moving. So I think when you start with a good plan, you can kind of get momentum faster as you're kind of starting from step one, square one. So in short, I guess for someone starting a freelance business, I'd say start by really going deep into what you're going to offer, who you're going to offer it to, defining your pricing models, figuring out where you're comfortable with those sort of things, and then dive pretty deep into becoming the best salesperson you can be for yourself, and from there, hopefully you can find some work to stay busy with and start to refine your delivery skills and that sort of thing. So Sean, haven't talked to you or seen you in a little while. The office we're in here today is a little different than the one we first sat down in together a few years ago. So we have grown quite a bit. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you and your class. If you guys have any questions, I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. I'm always on Twitter and Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever the case may be. So I appreciate it, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.